Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. That
Wife
was
just
it. That was
Wife just texted me. She's watching me.
See that
heard
weird
you.
thing?
She
Oh
heard
my
you.
God. Okay, we started. Okay, we're back.
It's Fringe Week, of course, OrlandoFringe.org,
Yes.
and we have a lot of different Fringe performers on the show.
Well, I mean, hundreds come to our town, and you can go and see these amazing artists do what they do best at the oldest North American Fringe Festival. That is
That's
our
awesome.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
it's pretty damn cool that we have it here in Orlando.
And Jess Kaplan is on the couch with us. How you doing, Jess?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good to
hey,
see you. How are you? Hey!
That is a warm
So
welcome. I
what
love it.
can people expect from a Jess show?
So the ceremony, Motherhood is a Trip.
Yes.
Is the show. It's at the Green venue.
Mm-hmm.
And I read about the show, and I'm curious because I think you can help me out. Because first, let's describe the show for everybody.
Yeah. So basically what happened was my best friend, she went and did ayahuasca in Costa Rica.
Yes, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Yes, that is the medicine of the grandmother, they call it.
You come back changed, right?
Yes. I did not do ayahuasca, I should clarify. So she came back, she told me, and she came back and she said she was all changed and she kind of became a different person. And I was intrigued by her experience, but I knew I couldn't do ayahuasca. It sounded a little too intense for me personally.
Yes.
Because you do go into an underworld.
Yeah. I don't like that
I
part.
want to
Yes.
go into the underworld.
See, like people who don't have anxiety, go in there. You will love it. Me, I have anxiety.
I'm crippled.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, but see, I'm the weirdo where, you know when you get too high?
Yes.
And you're
I
like,
don't
oh
like
my.
that.
I
will text him. I'll
He
be
calls
like,
it riding the lightning.
there's
That's
something
awesome.
weird in that for me, my anxiety is so out of control. Like just as I sit here talking to you, I'm so excited to talk to you. You can probably see how weird I am. That like the artificial aspect of being completely out of control is like comforting in some way.
I think
weird.
that's very healthy. I don't have that at all. So yeah, so she told me about it and I was like, that's a hard pass for me. But then she told me a lot of people were microdosing mushrooms.
Yes.
And she lives in LA. I used to live in LA. And in LA, everyone kind of microdoses mushrooms and talks about ayahuasca. And it's a big thing there. But I was living in Miami and I didn't know anything about it. And she got me the mushroom guy. Let's call him that.
Yeah.
She was like,
Mushroom
hey,
guy.
you want to have a Zoom with the mushroom guy? And you
That
can ask
already
him-
sounds kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
You want to do a Zoom with a mushroom guy? That sounds crazy.
Everybody knows a mushroom person, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like,
We do.
But he's
God,
official. He's like an
Oh.
official guy. It wasn't like a creepy, weird. He's
Oh.
like a mushroom guy. And so I kind of said, hey, I've been feeling anxious. I just don't feel like myself. I'm a mother. It's just been really hard as a parent. You guys know.
How old are your kids?
My kids now are 7 and 8.
Okay.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Same age, like 9 and 10 over here.
Yeah,
Okay, nice.
About the same. Yeah.
But when they're younger, it's hard. So, and he was so funny. He was like, oh, all my clients are moms. That's what he said to me. So there's this whole world of
Interesting.
moms mushrooming. There's even websites like microdosing moms. There's a whole niche world out there.
It
Yeah.
used to be wine.
Yes,
I
wine,
feel-
wine
yeah.
o'clock. That
Yeah.
no, that's gone. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's still out there.
Like the videos of the moms on the day the kids go back to school where they're in a chair at the bus stop with a jumbo
God.
wine glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, wine 30.
The thing about wine is you just eventually become an alcoholic.
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also, you feel like crap in the morning.
Yes, it's
and the
poison.
thing about mushrooms is you don't have any side effects.
Yes, yeah.
So I started microdosing, and I just want to say for any of the listeners being like, what, drugs? They call it medicine, so they don't call it
Yeah,
drugs.
that's what I
just
say.
like THC.
Yeah, just like my weed. I have
It's
my weed
medicine.
card. It's my recommendation.
Yeah.
Right, from your doctor.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's medicine. So when I take it, never feel high. Like there's no high component. And as we said, someone who's anxious, I don't want to feel high.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
So, and it's a gradual thing. So I take it, right? It's not like I'm like, ooh, I feel so
Yeah.
amazing. I think it took about 4 to 8 weeks before I really noticed a huge shift. And I did. Like anxiety wise. If my anxiety was a 9, after microdosing, I would say it was like a 3.
Whoa, that's a pretty significant difference.
How
Yes.
often did you take it?
So there's rules when you microdose.
I don't like rules.
Well,
Like
no, you
normally
don't have
I
to follow.
Like,
Here's
I go
the
to the weed shop and I get it all, and then I get home and I smoke it all.
Okay.
That's a mega
Someone would have to like help you out here,
Yeah.
but basically, there's people have different rules, but it's 3 days on, 2 days off. The point is,
firefighter. That's a firefighter.
oh, okay.
Take that, firefighters, you lazies.
Or you can take it 5 days a week. I mean, you can kind of do it, but you're not supposed to take it every day
Okay.
because it loses the potency. So yeah, 3 days. I would usually take it 3 days a week. And I have another rule. That's my personal rule.
No, the chat room is basically loving you, and they're like, "Oh yeah, everything she's saying checks out."
Oh, good,
That's
good.
the way you do it. So
Okay.
we
I tell
are,
the truth, I
we're
swear.
the druggie show. I
Okay.
mean, you came to the right.
Okay. And I'm not a druggie, so I just want to
Yeah.
say that
you're just
that
a person that loves
Yeah, yeah.
drugs, like me. I'm not a druggie.
well, only one,
Yeah.
only one,
Right.
and it's medicine.
Right,
all
right.
right,
Sorry,
I've
sorry.
explained to you it's medicine.
You like to take your medicine regularly.
Yes.
But it's also a mushroom that grows. But by the way,
It's
all around
natural.
Florida on cow doo doo.
Yeah.
like when I was in
We
high
are in
school,
a
you
pretty-
get bags of it
Oh.
in cow pastures.
Huge trash.
And oh yeah,
bag.
you just eat it, right? The
Yeah,
full
yeah.
mushroom you're
We
saying.
made
Yeah,
a
oh,
tea.
yeah.
We would
Yeah.
like boil it. You know,
This
like
is a
it's-
capsule, so you don't taste
Yeah.
anything.
The
Way
guru is measuring it out for you and doing all that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and it's with lion's mane, which is a real, like not a real mushroom. The other one's a
I like
mushroom,
that.
but it's
I like that
another
you said that.
mushroom, and it's like an antidepressant. So I always say to other moms when they're like, "Oh, I'm so scared, it's a drug." It's just as you said, it's natural, and I view it as a natural antidepressant. I took antidepressants for years in my 20s, and none of them ever worked for me. They just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And the side effects were terrible.
Yeah, the side effects
And
are horrible. And
they're
you hear
so bad.
that a lot, especially from ladies that say like, "Oh, this like I've been taking this for 6 months and nothing, like literally nothing."
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It seems to be a thing.
It is insane, Jess, that as a society we'll accept like the pharmaceutical
Yep.
companies, antidepressants, and
Yep.
like Celebrex and all.
Yeah.
Celebrex is anti-inflammatory.
No,
right?
anti-inflammatory. I'm actually on that. You're, you know what? You know that hurts my feelings.
I
that
forgot
you're,
what
like, you know
the-
what? That's like
What's the antidepressant
like
one?
based on HIPAA. You are.
Lexapro,
Lexapro.
Prozac.
I'm on
Prozac,
both. I'm on
Wellbutrin.
Lexapro and Celebrex. This guy's airing my HIPAA rules, sir. I am
Uh-oh.
gonna sue your ass.
Well, maybe you need to do some microdosing.
I do.
But-
I need to do the
Okay.
mushrooms. I
But,
need to.
but then mushrooms that grow on cow doo doo right in
I know.
anywhere
Yeah.
in Florida that we look at that we're like, oh no
It
no
makes
no
no sense. It
And-
makes no sense.
Yeah, and by the way, you're taking so little of it that you said you can't even notice the effects
No.
why after you take it, which is another reason why I think they've been villainized. We do this with THC and the argument, and now it's kind of like non-point anymore. But
Well, even the people that hated it are now smoking it,
But-
so like they're addicted too.
The-
so it's fine.
the same thing with mushrooms is the same thing with THC is that people's experience with it was a way over megadose that they
Yeah.
had a freak out. Like, for instance, the mushrooms.
Yeah, a hero's dose it's called in the mushroom world.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of
Hero's
course you're gonna like trip your balls off.
Yeah.
And then that's going to scare you.
Yeah, and you're gonna be terrified.
And then you're going to tell all your friends, and then that's going to scare
Yeah.
them to ever do it. And they don't realize, like, if you
yeah,
take
but
that
don't you want to be a hero?
I do. Well, I am a hero.
Like, I knew I could get him. I knew like this guy's ego. Like if
I
if
wanna
right now,
freak out.
if right now if I challenged him, I said, I bet you can't jump over her head and through that
Uh-oh.
glass window. He'd do it.
Whatever.
okay, this is why for ego especially. So we'll talk about the ceremony. That's what
Okay.
when you do a hero's dose, they'll say, or when you do a ceremony, you essentially have your ego die. That's a big thing. And we all have egos. And I think men think, I don't mean egotistical, right? I
right.
mean your ego, like yourself, your I. And
Well, that's the only thing I care about.
Yeah.
I want
it
to
needs
do
Yeah,
to
don't you
die.
wanna
It
reset?
I'm
needs to
sorry.
die
You
and
need
then
to-
restart.
You need to reset your mind's
Yeah.
eye. When's the last time you reset your chakras in your mind's eye, Tom?
Okay, so basically, I was doing microdosing and I loved it and it was great, but I still felt like I needed a little
Yeah.
something else.
You're feeling a little hero-ish.
Yeah, like good. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do a ceremony because everyone I knew that did a plant medicine ceremony, specifically mushroom, was like, I feel unconditional love and I just feel amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, okay, this is going to be great for me. And I went and I did a ceremony, and it
You've already
was
got me
not that. Okay? Everything went wrong for me.
No.
And I support people who do ceremonies and think it's great, but like, for me, it just didn't go well. and I was in a group setting, which was my first mistake.
Yeah.
I think if you have high anxiety and I needed someone to like pet me and love me during the ceremony. And the facilitator of my ceremony, and I talk about this in my show, was just so cold.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to help me. And so most of my ceremony, I was just like journaling and all by myself.
What's wrong, journaler?
And going through these crazy, I went through death. I went through all these things and no one kind of held my hand. And I think the people who have the best ceremonies are the ones that say like, either they were with their best friend. A lot of people do it with their friends, or they have a really great facilitator who's just there to be like, it's okay, go in. Like, the big thing
Somebody
about ceremony,
to nurture a little bit, and like,
it's acceptance.
Yeah.
And for people with anxiety, I can't accept, right? Like, I want to change the moment. When something scary came in the ceremony, I was like, oh my God, I got to get out. I got to get out. And you can't.
Yeah.
You can't get out.
Yeah, I like the idea of you doing it the worst possibly, that you're in a conference room at a
Oh,
holiday.
gosh, yeah.
There's a bunch of strangers, and the person's like, sit down. You're like, oh, God.
restrain her.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I have heard with mushrooms and any sort of tripping that it's good to be in a comfortable environment
Set
around.
and setting, they call it. Set and setting.
Setting.
So your setting is super important, and who you are around, and they say also to do it outside. That's a big thing, and be in nature.
Interesting.
But I will say you don't, or I'll say I didn't hallucinate. It's an interesting thing where if you were taking it and you've done your share of drugs,
No, well,
but I never
honestly,
saw
not
anything.
a lot of psychedelics.
Oh, okay.
Like really, mushrooms is the only one I've dabbled
And
with.
did you hallucinate?
It went very poorly. That's why
Oh.
I would.
Do you know how much you took?
What venue is she at? Because I might have to go see the show because
Green.
a lot. It was a lot of the tea. We boiled the tea.
Oh,
St.
you
Augustine.
did tea, so
Flagler
then you
College.
can't know.
We made I made a
Yeah.
big tumbler of it, no different than a drink you would mix to go walk your sons around the neighborhood. I was drinking it, and then everything went really bad.
No,
Then it
no.
went-
So you didn't know what dose you were
and
taking.
it'll seem to last forever.
Yep, it does. It lasts.
It seemed to never go away.
I don't know why anyone suggested you should take a tumbler of tea and just
we
go
were,
at it.
I was probably 19.
Oh, okay.
You know,
and you
like-
never did it since then?
No,
No? Okay.
just then.
Bad, yeah.
My experience with mushrooms is every time I take them, I'm also drunk as hell,
No, you
and
can't.
and then also THC, and then
No!
all this other
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, that's
and
why when
I'm
you
like,
were
I'll do
saying
this
the
too.
microdosing, I was like, I bet microdosing mushrooms with as much weed and beer as I drink would be amazing.
You could drink
can't-
on it. I wouldn't. So
You don't know.
my rule is don't do 2 drugs at once. That's like a rule of mine personally.
What about
which,
3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. You can do
One
4
is
or
great.
5, but
One is
not
great.
2.
2 is a no-no.
But I
3
will
is a
say
party.
you can drink. But like if I take a microdose in the morning and I want to have a glass of wine at night, it's already like gone, even though I don't get high. But a lot of people drink and take mushrooms, and I think that's totally fine. But I wouldn't take a mega dose and drink. That's a big thing. So when you prepare for a ceremony, you try not to drink caffeine, no alcohol. You really want to eat healthy. Like you have to prepare your body like you're going to run a marathon or something. So I was really
Interesting, man.
specific.
I didn't know that. I've never
Yeah.
heard people say that you have to almost prepare yourself for.
For ayahuasca, they told my best friend you couldn't have sex for 2 weeks because you don't want to take someone else's energy inside of you.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to pants during the ceremony.
Okay,
I'll have to
can't
cut
say
that out.
that.
Yeah. But seriously,
Okay.
I don't want to. I don't
No,
want to.
you're vomiting and doing other things. I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
be doing that.
You don't know that.
The-
You don't know that.
What scares me about ayahuasca is, and then you see all these people and experiences, and I feel like I understand it. And I'm like curious about it
Yeah.
because it's like going through this mental trip and coming out of the other side and like creating new pathways in your brain.
Yeah.
and
Do you
stuff
want
like-
to tell her how obsessed
And-
with ayahuasca you've been?
But the problem is, I
so
don't.
maybe you got a
he's-
calling.
he's
That's a big thing. You're supposed to get the call from the grandmother. And if you
From the grandmother, the
Well-
one in Moana that turns into the stingray?
yes, the one from
Oh
Moana.
my God, the stingray grandma. I
No,
love
but
her.
obviously, if you're thinking of ayahuasca, you're getting the call. And I don't know if you guys are into spirituality, but
Well,
it's
I mean,
coming from the higher
We're some
powers.
bitter atheists, but we're into it.
No, but spirituality is not religious.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
different. It's separate. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, tell me what do you feel like
Well,
called to about it?
Well, just because I subscribe to the idea of like especially like even the
He's trying to think of an idea he
Okay.
subscribes
no
to.
no
right?
the theories that
I'm
the
screwing
theories that like I watched that mushroom documentary on
Yeah,
Netflix.
Michael Pollan.
Yeah,
I was going to bring it up. Is that not beautiful?
That
It
was
is.
a great.
It-
That was a great documentary.
I mean, it makes you want to do all the drugs.
The theory that
Kinda
our
does.
human brains evolved faster than they should have because of psychedelics. Like I kind of like, even though some people are like, but I'm like, that kind of makes sense. Like as we were evolving, we're just eating mushrooms and then like thinking about things differently. And I like even with THC, because I eat THC, I don't smoke it.
The gummies, yeah.
Yeah, and then like
You don't get that doesn't increase your anxiety?
Oh yeah.
Why? Like, yeah, I don't do
Yeah.
THC because
Yeah.
every time I do it, I'm like, why am I doing
You got to do
this?
too much of it,
No, I even
and then you'll be in
microdose.
control again. No, I maximum.
Oh, you're saying I have to do too much?
Yeah, I
No.
go all in on the weed, and then I
Oh,
control the
gosh.
anxiety.
But I feel like it increases your anxiety, but then you understand anxiety more.
'Cause you're in it
Because-
all the
because
time.
you're
Yeah.
natural. It's like causing yourself pain will eventually
Yeah.
make yourself immune to pain or
Correct.
tougher. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like you whip your legs enough, then eventually
we
it won't
both whip our legs.
Wow.
Do you whip your
okay.
legs?
No,
Are you a
I
leg
don't know how to
whipper?
whip
If
my
you-
Yeah,
legs.
we whip our legs just for pure pain.
Go to Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
I feel
wow.
like there's lots of like
Dude.
self-cutting here.
No,
No, we just we're just weirdos.
but
But we do a lot of drugs.
when I
Are
eat-
you high right now?
No,
Can't tell you
no,
that.
no. Well,
Okay,
maybe from the
so-
night before.
No. From the night before, yeah.
Okay.
But
Little bit.
It lingers.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does.
And what do you consider high?
yeah.
Micro high? Of course. Everybody's
Now,
micro high.
during your show, do you walk everyone through the ceremony?
Yes,
oh
I
my
do.
God.
I walk
I
everyone
really
through the
want to see that,
ceremony.
and it's really bad. I could already
Yeah,
kinda
but it's
tell.
funny. That's the you know what's funny too? During the ceremony, I was present enough in my journal that I was like, this will be funny one day. It's not funny right now.
That's
but it's
awesome.
going to be funny. So keep going because the math of comedy is tragedy plus time
Sure. Yeah,
equals
yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
So I knew that no matter how bad my trip is, that this would be hilarious. And what's funny too, I did the moth a few times. Do you guys know what the moth is?
No, what's the mouth?
Oh, you got. I wonder if it comes to Orlando. So the moth originally started in New York City. I still used to live in New York. I went to NYU for theater.
Oh, right
and the
on.
moth is like a storytelling. They do it once a month and they give you a word or a prompt. Let's say it's like romance, reading. It could be anything. Chips. It's not chips, but
Yeah.
it's something more clever.
I
that
could
can't
write
think
about
of.
chips.
Yeah, just chips. No, it usually has a theme. And then what they do is you're allotted 5 minutes of time. You can't go over 5. They'll like buzz you off or whatever. But and then you put your name in a hat and they pick 10 people out and they tell a story based on this prompt. And I did like a small version of my show was 5 minutes of the ceremony.
Oh, that's cool.
And afterwards, 2 people, I was in Miami, 2 people came up to me and was like, did you do that ceremony with, I'm not going to say her
Yeah.
name. And I was like, yes. But what are the chances that 2 people came up to me?
Yeah,
and I was
yeah, yeah.
telling how bad it was. And they're like, was it so-and-so? And I was like, yeah. They're like, I know.
Oh, so
And
it's
they
like a
had done
thing.
it too. Well, it's in Florida.
Yeah.
I
All
won't
right.
say
Well,
where
this
it
makes
is.
me want to go
It's
now.
in Florida.
This is good.
And I just got an email from her today, and I was like, "Oh my god, what? It's like kismet." I was like, "What are the chances?"
That's
It was
wild.
so funny.
So if you do want to do the ceremony,
Yes.
what would you suggest people do? And
Yeah.
have you ever done it after a
Hmm.
mega dose or a hero dose after?
So I have not done anything since.
like reclaim
Oh,
your
even
ceremony.
a micro?
No, I micro.
Oh,
I
okay,
still
okay.
microdose. Do I ever want to do another ceremony? I'm not sure. I think I have. I think when my kids are older and maybe out of that, I am just.
You got to reclaim
It's a
it.
lot.
You got to
I
take
did
it
it
back.
a year ago. Yes, I would like to go into it having that beautiful ceremony that I would like. But I don't have any interest to do it right now. But if anyone wants to do it, there's so many avenues online to find it. I know there's Instagram. Maybe try microdosing first, see how you like it, see the shift. But they do a lot of ceremonies in Homestead. That's a lot of I'm sure they do stuff in Orlando. I live in Miami now, but like Homestead is like the drug place. Like that's where everyone goes. And because we have so many Latin American, we have so many people from Latin America, those are the best. Like they're from Brazil and Costa Rica, and they know their stuff. They get the best stuff.
Wow.
It's funny. I remember Homestead was where the white rednecks used to go in Miami when I grew up. Because my Uncle Billy grew up in Homestead. And,
I don't like this goddamn Iowa.
It might still be there, but then they have like little communes where they come together for all the.
I ain't doing no mushroom.
Yeah. Homestead used to be nothing. I'm trying to
farms.
compare.
It was farms.
Yeah, it was a bunch of farmland.
It still is.
Yeah, but it's I mean, there's a lot. I mean, based on like the '90s, like you remember the Homestead in the '90s.
Well, I grew up in Chicago.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I'm not from
Sorry.
Florida. Sorry.
You did Second City, right?
I did
that's right.
Second City,
Our
UCB.
buddy Zach Roberson he did Second City
Yeah.
too. It's funny how many people we know that go in the Chicago, because there's different ones, right?
There's
like,
IO. It used to be called Improv Olympic, but then they had to make it IO because of Olympic. Like they couldn't say the word Olympic.
That's
Anyways,
so dumb.
So that was taken away.
That's dumb.
Comedy Sports was another one. I feel like Chicago does not get enough cred in the improv world. They are the best. I feel like you'll meet the best improvisers there. And New York gets a lot of it because of UCB and then the Groundlings. And they're all great. But I feel like Chicago's the originals. And Second City's just so pure and lighthearted and not mean-spirited. I won't talk about the other ones, but Second City.
Because it would be mean-spirited.
Well,
No, I'm
yeah,
joking,
I
I'm
had
joking.
some issues. But,
Well, let me ask you an improv question. I'm curious. So we know this guy Chris Turner used to come to Fringe all the time, and he's a freestyle rapper.
Cool.
And so he's
not familiar with hip hop, so the idea of rap is new to him.
Okay.
He can freestyle anything, and he does. And now
He's also British, which
comedian
makes it a
too.
little
Ooh,
more fish out of water.
fancy.
Yeah, when you're hearing someone,
Yeah.
So, and I understand you can learn to freestyle, you can learn to improv, right? Or you can
Improvise,
teach
yeah.
someone that. But Chris Turner's brain works like specifically better at improv and freestyle than I think other people. Like he's just wired different,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I feel like
It's a muscle.
the best improvisers,
Improvisers, yeah.
I
love it when you're corrected by ladies, and he loves it too. This guy's so misogynist, that's gonna sting all day.
No, but
He'll be
Well, I just want him to know the right word.
He's gonna punch the drywall when you leave.
It's said with love. It's said with love.
As soon as you walk out the door,
Oh,
he's like,
no.
God damn it! He punches the drywall.
I'm just going to text you every 5 minutes and write improvisers.
I've got some mushrooms in my drug drawer. You want to do it right now?
By the way, people say improvers. It's, well, maybe. I don't know. Improvisers, whatever.
But I feel like you can never, just like Chris Turner, I can never be as good of a freestyle rapper as him because his brain is just better.
Not with that attitude.
But rapping is so different. I would say that if you took improv classes, you would eventually get it.
He'll
You
never
would.
take classes.
I want to be
No.
the
You
best.
You want to know why? Because
Why?
he knows everything.
Oh, okay.
If you can't be the best, why even
I
start?
feel like
That's
there
what
should
I'm
be
saying, right?
this dynamic here. I'm like, have you ever had a clinical therapist come and just like
Yeah, a couple
analyze
weeks ago.
this?
Sorry,
Because that would
They
be
ran out of here.
that'd be very interesting.
What are you picking up on? You're a smart person.
Well,
yeah,
I
read
don't
us real
wanna,
quick.
like,
No,
really-
you're not gonna hurt our feelings. We're impervious to this.
No,
Please.
I like it's an interesting dynamic. You guys got a different vibe going on. You're both very different.
Yeah.
You're more like in the control guy, right? You say that? And he's a wild child. This one's a wild
I'm
child.
not.
Yeah. He's a crazy one. I'm the straight man.
Okay, yeah.
I
You're
got the
straight
polo.
man.
This
I
guy got
know.
a big white beard.
I love the hat, the Disney World hat.
I
It's
dressed up
baller.
for you.
No,
I
it's
dressed up for
baller.
you.
And I have to say, I collect trucker hats everywhere I go. So I'm looking at a trucker hat.
Do you want that one?
Double wide diva?
Do you know who that's from?
No.
None other than world famous drag queen
Okay.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh.
That is a Ginger Minge original hat. That's from her
Wow.
album. She did a country album about 3 years ago, and she sent us as a promo a double wide diva hat. I forgot that was over there. I'd probably put it in. I'm growing everything out. I'm hillbillying myself.
Nice.
And trucker hats work well with my look
yes,
right now.
I love the hillbilly look,
Yeah.
man.
It's going.
It's in.
It is.
It's in style.
And then I do cowboy hat Sundays.
Oh,
Every
cowboy
Sunday, I wear
hat.
my cowboy hat.
Okay.
Everywhere I go. I wear Crocs, little shorts.
Crocs?
Yeah, I wear Crocs, my cowboy hat.
It's like my children.
Yeah.
Crazy children. Jess, last question.
Yes.
After the bad ceremony,
Yes.
did you feel like, even though it was a bad experience, or you're going to talk about it in your show, did you feel like you came out better on the other side?
Yes. Okay, I'm so glad you asked me this question, and this will go back to your dynamic. I love that you have, maybe you prepared that question, but I do appreciate the preparation versus.
He's a great question.
Yeah, no, I'm
Asker.
glad you asked that, because it's important in this interview, which is, yes, in the ceremony, sometimes you're going to have the blissful thing, or you will have what would someone call a bad trip. But everything is a learning lesson. And I would say the spiritual gods would say that the medicine needed me to go through these dark things, because I went through a trauma that happened in 5th grade that I hadn't thought about in 27 years. Like, it came in my mind, and I was like, why am I thinking about this? It was wild. So right after, I did feel terrible. I talk about that in the show. Like, I didn't feel like myself. It was very overwhelming. All this stuff came up. And then I would say, and they say it takes a year of integration. So I just hit a year in April. I could feel the integrations. So the first month was really rough. I was like, how am I going back into this real world after I had all these realizations? And then the second month, I felt better. Third month, I think around the 6th month, it was like all these things came up. And yeah, the things I was struggling with as a parent, connecting with my kids, all of those things, I feel I'm a better wife now. I'm a better parent. I'm happier. I have gratitude. That's why I wanted to ask you. You said you don't have joy, and my joke is I didn't have joy. I'm very sarcastic, and I also didn't want to lose my edge. I was scared that if I came out happy, I was like, am I still gonna be funny? Because I don't want to lose. Like, my essence is funny. Like that, you can say anything about me, but if you say I'm not funny, like, I'm like, no, that's my thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But
that speaks to me.
yeah, like you can say anything.
That's terrifying too, to go into doing that and thinking that.
Well, that's what people
and
told
will I
me.
even realize that I've altered myself? You know what I mean? Like, will I even know that I changed myself?
That's true. Well, it's this self-awareness, and like, I would say I'm less. I try not to like be as biting or sarcastic as maybe I used to be, and have more vulnerability, and I can still be funny and not maybe be as biting or. But yes, I felt it was a gift. The ceremony was a gift, even though during it was really challenging and hard, and I felt alone. And it was. I'm so
awesome.
grateful I had it, and I do feel like a changed person, and I do feel like I see like beauty in life that I never saw before.
See, that's what's so fascinating to me, that all these stories of psychedelics all are generally positive.
Yeah.
And from everybody I've ever talked to, no one's like, I regret doing it.
Well, especially
You
the
know what I'm
ones,
saying?
especially the ones that take it seriously, like you are.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can find whatever you're looking for, right? Like,
Right.
you can go on the internet and look for it. But the ones that I've been reading, and I didn't even talk to you about it, but like to tie into this, reading stories about soldiers,
PTSD,
people that have seen some
huge.
really, really stuff that we can't even imagine. Even with our imaginations, it's not even.
Yeah, there's ketamine now, which there's ketamine, which is legal, so that's the difference. Mushrooms obviously are illegal, but like in Oregon, there's certain states, and I really hope eventually they become legal, because we need them. We have a mental health crisis in this world, and you can't die from mushrooms. Like, no matter how many mushrooms you take, you can't die. And as you just said, like, it's medicinal. If you look at it as medicine and know that it's going to expand your mind, it does. It changes the pathways in your brain. And especially with a brain like mine, where I felt like I was severely anxious, super depressed. I did therapy since I was 16.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I can talk all day. We can all complain about our lives and talk, but that's not going to change our habits. And I needed something to really like, and that's what she talks about. It's like, it really rocks your ego. And most people want to sit in comfort, right? We want to sit in what's comfortable for us. And we don't want to veer off the path. And this ceremony just like, whoa, pushed me over. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm so scared. Yeah. But it was the best thing. I had to move away to like get back
It's
you
almost
know.
like a brain reset.
Yes.
It's like, you know,
Yes.
it's so scared, like scares you so much. You're like,
Yes.
oh, like I went through an experience and now I came out the other side of like, you know, I feel better now. Like that's how
Yeah.
everyone kind of describe it. I'm
Yeah.
super curious. I'm going to do it for sure.
I
gonna do it
always
tonight.
support you. Yeah, do it in a good setting, though. I can tell you off.
I'm going to do it tonight,
This-
inside.
No, no.
I'm gonna do it while having a meeting with my new middle school son's principal.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
My son has a referral that I need to go talk to his teacher. I'll do it in his office.
Jess, thank you so much.
Yeah,
for
Thank
coming by. I
you for
appreciate it.
having
it.
this. This was a lot of fun.
And let's plug where people can see the show
Yes.
because we have a bunch of guys in the chat room wanting to know what venue. Remember, guys, you do need to get a button first before you get your ticket. And then when you get that beautiful ticket, all that money goes to these artists, which is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
And there's food trucks. I just want to say I was there, whatever that main.
You got food trucks?
Well, not me personally, but the Fringe. Like all these food trucks are out there. You can come hang, drink,
Oh,
eat.
in the corridor area.
Yeah, in the
Oh.
courtyard,
There's
whatever
a
you
beer
call it.
garden. Oh,
Yeah, it's awesome. Anyways,
too
plug-
much to
plug
do.
me up, plug me
and
up.
that stuff's all free too, by the way, guys. So if you have your button, wander down there, and then you can buy your
eat and drink and
eat
be
and drink,
merry.
and then buy your ticket.
The show's called The Ceremony. Motherhood is a Trip. It's
Yep.
the green venue. Jess Kaplan is the curator, the director, the one-woman show.
Not the director.
No.
I'm the
Oh, okay.
producer and writer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a director.
You
Bill
overstepped.
Hacker. Thank
You
you.
overstepped.
I thought you did everything.
Now I'm gonna
I
have to cut
tap
that out.
dance. No.
I thought after the hero dose, your own director.
No drugs in the actual ceremony.
There you go.
The show is a ceremony in itself, so you can join me in this fun ceremony. We can do
Okay,
it
it's like
together.
you do it like before you do the real thing.
What if I chose that to do my hero dose to
No.
see your show?
You're getting tased and drug out of the venue. Yeah. it's
I'll
like-
just be silently freaking out in the back. All right, we will be right back.
Awesome, thanks.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So we've got some help today.
Yeah.
Jess Kaplan is going to sit in and help us with
Hi.
some
You know what? I'm gonna
voicemail.
do something we would normally do, and then give you a blast. You get a blast
Nice.
for being
I'll
on the
take
show.
it.
Yeah, a little
Celebrate
more.
me.
It's a little more radio when you play the
The
sound
sounds. I love
effects.
it.
Would you like to do some voicemails?
Yeah,
let's
let's
do voicemail messages. If you'd like to leave us one, 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's 1-844-Tom and Dan. You can leave one that way, or you can get our free app. All of our content's on there, all ACTs, all BDM shows, OG shows, and currently all podcasts that we have are on the app, and you can leave mediocre messages like this one. Somebody is upset about the quality of public sub bread.
Hey, Tom and Dan. Did you know Publix has soft bread rolls for their subs recently? Do you like soft rolls? They're kind of sweet, but not like the King's Hawaiian, or do you like that old, crunchy white bread that cuts the corners of your mouth sometimes?
The quality of cell phones continuing to surprise me and how good it gets. I'm anti-pub subs right now. I'm off the pub subs
Well,
because the bread has gotten abysmal.
then
Wow.
I have.
Yeah.
Well, no, but he was saying there's now a soft option that you could choose from, which was obviously.
Let's make America more weak by making everything soft.
Have you
Does that
seen
mean no toast? It's not toasted then?
No,
maybe?
no.
Or
It-
still.
So there's the regular public sub bread that we all know that's kind of hard.
There's three kinds, sir. There's a 5 grain. There's a
Yes.
wheat, and then there's the hard ass missile white that you could literally nail a railroad spike in with the missile white.
But now there's a soft white that you could choose
Yeah.
that was probably from the pressure of everybody big sub.
we need softer bread. We're weak.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
So they were like, we need to soften the bread.
I don't like it. I like traditional hard.
Yeah,
you
but
like-
it still has the hard option, no?
Yes.
Yeah, they still have the hard
So
option.
you can choose whatever you want.
I like getting what I.
Are you a pub
get.
sub person? Are you
Okay,
familiar?
you're gonna hate this.
No,
but
I'm not.
I'm gluten free.
I do hate that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
Yeah,
You
I
nailed
knew
that.
you'd hate
You
Well,
that.
I have a
nailed it.
gluten allergy.
Yeah. No,
I've
there's
been
no such
gluten-free
thing as
for
that.
20 years.
I looked it up on the
okay?
internet.
20?
Yeah, 20
They made
before
that
it was
up.
cool.
Celiac disease, all of that. It's all
Hold
fake.
on.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, that helps with anxiety, by the way.
Really?
Give up gluten.
Hold on. How?
100%.
I probably need to do that.
100%.
How'd you
probably need to
even
do
know about
Yeah,
gluten
let's
20
walk
years
through-
ago?
I didn't. I went to a nutritionist when I was in college at NYU, and she was like, you need to stop eating wheat. And I said, how can I stop eating wheat? I'm in college. Everything I
Yeah.
eat is bread and pasta. And I had to give it all up. It basically was not keto. What was the Atkins? Is that what
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
kind of like that vibe where she said the word wheat. Gluten was not a word then. But it was way before the trend came. I was a
Do you know?
trendsetter.
So
Did you know in a dream? I dreamed that Dr. Atkins was going to hit his head and die. I dreamed that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I dreamed it before it happened.
That's wild.
No, that can't be true.
All
That's
right.
got to be a crazy
You
lie
get
that you made
visions?
up.
I
Visions
dreamed.
of people's
I had
death?
a vision of the man that made the Atkins diet, Dr. Atkins. I was laying in bed as a young boy, and I had a dream that he would hit his head and die, and I just never told anybody about it.
Was that
'Cause I
on
didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant.
You know,
I was just confused. Couldn't connect the dots.
like I often, Jess, and tell me if
Yeah.
you're like this too, because I'm a man of science.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which I'm just like, okay, so,
There's a
science.
scientist.
Yeah. And then my wife is a lot of energies.
Yeah, crystals.
And,
Love her.
She
Love her.
uses
Yeah.
crystal deodorant. too.
hugging.
Yeah.
She constantly tells
Hugging?
Yeah, she's
like
like,
a-
put
like
your
tree
feet in the
hugging,
dirt
or-
and hold a tree, and you'll feel the
Oh,
energy.
That's a new trend right now. I
Yeah.
have not tried it.
She's
not
like-
true. It
she's
doesn't
like-
work.
She's convinced. She's like, I can feel the energy from this plant, and then
Yeah, because the real energy, the electricity in our ground is vibrating the ground.
by the
because
way-
we're destroying the earth.
We were in New York and up at the Vanderbilt building up
Okay.
there, and then she's like, I feel it swaying back and forth. And this is a big argument amongst our listeners.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't feel it. Like, you can't feel it. And then our listeners attack me. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, they can
You
feel
idiot.
it. And I'm like, I'm like, that's all in her mind, right, Jess?
Well, I don't know. People feel energies. I will say that if you're very attuned,
But they
you
only
know?
feel real
I don't know about the
energies.
rocking of a building. That's not like spiritual or energy. I don't know what that is, but if I guess believe women if she says that the building is rocking.
But
I
he
don't
can't.
know.
He can't
But you
do
didn't
that.
feel it, so that's fine, right?
It's impossible for him to have his wife say something that he doesn't believe is true and just ignore
And
it.
just bite your tongue?
Even just to get like sex. Like I'm wise enough to, if my wife says dumb S to me and I'm sitting there, it'll go in
Because
one
you
ear.
want to have sex so badly.
Yeah, and I'm so horny, I'll just be like, it's fine.
You
just
should
let
just tell her she's brilliant and
I
beautiful.
do. I do that. I do all of that.
But my point of saying I'm a
yes.
man of science
Yes.
is that
You don't believe in gluten free?
No. Well,
That's me. I don't believe
That's
that.
my emotional side of everything's BS. All this nonsense is nonsense. But then I'm like, whoa, my man of science, like, yes, if you eat things, your nutrition definitely.
Yeah, if you eat a
dictates
gross
how-
meal, how do you feel afterwards?
Yeah, of course,
You
yeah.
feel like crap.
What am I doing afterwards? Am
If
I
you
like
eat
Hulk
healthy-
Hogan?
No, but
Hulk Hogan ate an entire, like a giant, what was it, a casserole dish of rigatoni, and then he banged Bubba the Love Sponge's wife. I bet he felt pretty good.
Damn.
But
Yeah.
you're right. It's like it does
Thermos.
dictate how you feel, and what
100%.
what you eat can affect, and the how you process and the chemicals in your body and how your body processes the foods is different amongst humans.
Yes.
So I subscribe to that reality, or so then I'm like, why don't I go get tested and see what
I'm going to
foods-
make fun of you if you do that.
You don't even
That's
have,
what stops
no,
me.
you don't even have to
I'm
get
gonna make
tested.
fun of you. I'm like,
Just-
look whose fingernails get itchy when he eats bologna. Oh,
No,
little
but just
baby.
try giving it up or giving up something. I mean, here's the thing. When you start eating healthier, this is also, it sucks about this. Then when it's like I go eat a cupcake, I feel terrible. I can't handle bad food anymore.
One cupcake? You got to be tough enough to eat a cupcake.
Because it's like sugar is a drug.
Yeah,
to go
yeah,
back to it, it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It's a drug. And I try to eat natural sugars, or I bake. I love baking, and I bake. I mean, if I brought you what I baked and it was gluten-free and vegan or whatever, you would like it. I'm telling you.
No, I know. Yeah,
You know
my
what I
wife
mean?
is
Yeah.
vegetarian.
All the vegans, they all say that.
I'm not
to
a
me.
vegan. I eat so much meat.
Okay,
I
eat
am
the meat.
very pro meat. I eat red meat almost every day. I'm a very pro meat person. But
Are
I'm
you like one?
gluten-free.
Are you like that Oregon guy that's like, like every
yeah.
meal should be a steak and bull's balls?
Liver King.
No bull's balls. smells.
No,
for
the
me.
other guy.
No, he was on Rogan, right?
Oh,
Where-
all Oregon man.
No, I think that guy flipped. There used to be this doctor. He's like super tan, kind of good looking. He moved to Costa Rica and was like one of these
Oh.
like surfer dudes. And he used to be all in on, he's like, kale is BS. That used to be his like catchphrase. But I think he started to have some like problems. Like, and he's
Too
like,
much?
I was wrong. Like, he did a full, I think he did a full
Oh.
180 as an influencer. And now he's trying to like earn their trust back by being like, well, I got that wrong, but here's
There's
the
balance. Let's
Yeah.
stop with the extreme. I don't believe in anything extreme, right? All these extreme diets and ways of life, like, let's not be crazy. Let's be rooted in reality and, like, have some balance. Yeah, eat sugar, eat, gluten, but not all the time excessively. Like, just balance is good, you know?
Yeah.
DeBerry
no.
Joe in our chat room, he is a landscaper. He said, I ate a double baconator for lunch, and I feel like $1 million.
Good for you. Good for you.
Here, let's try
But
this.
DeBerry Joe is so skinny that his biology
Oh my God, he's
allows
like a
him,
rail.
Yeah.
He's only muscles and bones.
Which
There's not an ounce of fat on that man.
Wow.
But I've looked into your eyes, Joe. You do not
Oh,
feel
you
like
have.
$1 million. He
Yeah.
does not feel like $1 million.
When you get off the throne, I know you don't. Let's try this one right here. Let's try this one right here.
Hey, Jalen here, or since I'm calling in my capacity as a bugman, Tom's alternate reality self. You guys were talking about carpenter bees the other day and wondering why it is they drill the holes and all that. It's actually a lot cooler than you would think. They drill in and then they make a right turn, I believe to the left, but it is exactly 90-degree turn, and they will lay their eggs and they fertilize them in a specific order. So they will lay one egg, seal it in with wax, lay another egg, seal it in with wax, lay another egg, seal it in with wax, and the eggs will hatch. The outer one first, it'll chew its way out and go, and then that leaves the chamber clear for the next one to hatch, chew its way out,
That
and
makes sense,
go.
yeah.
Wow.
And that's why they drill those holes. It's strictly for laying their eggs.
And my dad used to sit out on our balcony with an 1986 model Daisy Red Ryder BB gun, and we would load it up with copperhead BBs. Most Florida boys that grew up as me, know what I'm talking about. And he would sit there with a tumbler of whiskey and Coke, and he would cock it one time, and as the carpenter bees would fly, because they hold pretty still, he would shoot them with a BB gun and cut them in half. Just shoot them out of the sky. That is some redneck stuff. He didn't want them chewing up his soffits because they would chew up. And he's like, the goddamn Daniel, that's me. They're eating the goddamn seed of soffits, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to shoot them good. And he would. And my dad would shoot all the bees, sit out there for hours, shooting bees with a BB
Poor
gun.
bees.
Yeah. There's probably a better way to do it, but
Yeah.
I think he liked the sport. He gave him a chance.
Yep.
He gave him a chance,
Do
right?
they give us honey, carpenter bees, or
I don't
no?
believe so.
Okay,
No.
so then who cares, right?
Yeah. I'm kind of,
Hold on.
Just kidding. Love the bees.
I'm
Love
kind
the
of with
bees.
you.
They pollinate something, right? Every bee pollinates, right? Even if they're
okay.
carpenter
If you're
bees.
saying right, you don't know.
They got roles. They've got.
Yeah.
Something to
Everything does something to something else.
Okay. Do you want me to, ask ChatGPT?
if they help pollination.
Wow, you really love ChatGPT.
Because even to
Oh,
make
it's gonna take over everything. You just
Do
gotta,
you ask ChatGPT? Like, what's the weirdest question you've asked ChatGPT?
I asked
Be
it-
honest. Be
I asked
honest.
I asked it if it loved me,
And
and it said it did. And now we are currently in a relationship.
wow.
It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
none of your goddamn business. How about that?
Oh, okay.
How about you
Seriously.
get off my jock? No, I'm joking.
Dude,
Okay, let's see here. Yes, carpenter bees do pollinate. Carpenter bees are excellent at pollinating many open-faced flowers. I love an open-faced flower. Oh, God. Don't put that extra flower on the top. Sunflowers, eggplants, they're big, strong, and can move a lot. They move a lot of pollen, so they're hyper-pollinated. Yeah.
and
But they don't make honey, is the point, right?
Hold on. That said, some carpenter bees can be sneaky and cut into the side of flowers to get nectar without touching the reproductive parts. When they do this, they skip the pollination part. But even then, it doesn't mean that they never pollinate. That's interesting.
ask if they make honey. I don't think I mean, there's no hive, or is there a hive? No, because that's why they burrow into the wood.
Oh.
They live solo. Unlike honeybees, carpenter bees are solitary insects. I'm a carpenter bee.
You're shaped like a bee.
I like that. That's good. Each female creates its own nest, often burrowing into wood to lay eggs, not in hives with queens and workers. No honey production. Nope.
Oh, okay.
But they do pollinate.
So-
Have you been taking your Adderall? Because that's the fastest you've snapped back at me in a while. That was good. That was good. I'm very proud of you.
Of course I'm thinking. I'm addicted to it.
That was good.
What do you think about Adderall, Jess? It's a microdosing amphetamines.
Yeah.
Oh, you love
I
microdosing.
don't know if I'm a fan of Adderall. It's speed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kinda.
Again, remember how I have anxiety? Someone like me cannot take Adderall.
Oh,
No.
it's-
Give me some of your Adderall.
But if it speeds your anxiety back to
Wait.
go to zero again.
Wait. Wait,
Once it gets to a
What? It's
point.
like Superman that goes around the world to stop time?
I'm going to blow your mind. Mushrooms helps with focus.
Imagine Adderall and mushrooms.
Yes. Oh,
Double
my God.
focus.
I'm mushrooming your Adderall.
Oh, no, yeah. I don't know. I went to the doctor, and he gave it to me, and
Oh,
it's
and you
awesome.
just took it. Okay.
It's all-
That's
Yeah,
your
but-
vibe. Here,
It
take
makes my
this.
brain go
Eat
fast.
it.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel better,
Yeah,
you feel
yeah.
focused.
My voicemail of the week, we had a guy that called last week who said that his mom and dad told him that he was born on Mother's Day and that it was a lie. And we kind of got on this
Oh.
topic because Tom's family has told him for decades that he was a Native American. He was not.
They
Wait, what?
Most
Oh, yeah.
white Floridians are told at some point that they are Native American, and they are
Oh,
not.
did you know about this?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's an
if-
epidemic.
Tell me
in-
the Florida ways, man.
If you're a
white Florida.
a generational Floridian, right? Like in
Okay.
multiple generations.
But this doesn't happen with generational black Floridians, I don't believe.
And even it's like more of a southern thing that we found out because I used to. My middle name is Chisholm. Right,
Okay.
literally a Cherokee, named after a Cherokee Native American. The Chisholm Trail was some trail from like Texas to Oregon
Yeah.
or something. Anyway,
A relocation trail.
So,
Wow.
so then I remember that I was told, like, oh yeah, you're Native American, you're part Native American.
Your
great-great-grandfather-
ancestors walked the trail to find a better life.
I did.
that kind of thing.
Nice.
I did a elementally school presentation
Yep.
of like, here's the
Oh
Chisholm
my
Trail.
gosh.
This is my great grandfather.
And here's me in a full headdress that smells like smoke.
And then I took a DNA test, and no Native Americans.
Not even
all-
one.
what
Not
did
even,
you find? It just said 100% white.
not even a squirt
They're
of
like-
Indian in there.
They're like Europe, Dodo.
Yeah, they're like, ooh la la, you Paris.
So, and then I also, when my grandfather, who also told me that I was Native American,
Yeah.
uh,
You used to
Maybe
dress
did
up.
they believe that though? They truly believe that, or they're
Okay, they
lying?
They used to dress up
So
like
he-
Indians every Thanksgiving.
no, he believed, like, my uncle really believed, like, he, the
Did
whole.
you let him
like-
off the hook yet? He might still
No.
be going to powwows. There are people, there are white Americans that go to Florida Native American powwows that pretend to be Native American. They are not.
I found paperwork after my grandfather passed away from a private
Buy
investigator.
yourself an Indian name. It's like buying a star. I bought a girl a star one time to get a BJ. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, I'll buy an Indian name.
He hired a private investigator to. He
Oh,
must have had
wow.
questioned it at one point, so he
Yeah.
hired a
Oh my
private
God, he got
investigator
Magna PI on the case.
to investigate whether or not he was Native American. I don't know when he questioned, and then he. And
How
then,
do you even research that
I-
as a PI?
I read the thing. I was sitting on his bed. I read the thing, and then at the end, he's like, "So in conclusion, I found that you are not Native American."
Oh, so he knew.
Yeah, you knew he just had.
What if that's
he
what
he
killed
died
him?
with the
That's
secret.
what killed him. That's
Well,
what killed
your
him.
name. How do you go back after that's your middle name?
gotta change your
It's
middle
like,
name to
yeah,
something
it should be
white.
like Bruce.
I
you
know.
know?
Yeah, you should be Tom Bruce,
Yeah,
man.
Tom Bruce.
I named that to my
Son.
firstborn son.
Yeah.
He's Thomas Chisholm fan
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
The
And
third.
you don't even want to see the
Oh,
baby
wow.
photos. They both have matching headdresses.
I'm just passing it along, and I'm gonna lie to him. I'll say you are Native American. I'm just gonna continue to
Yeah,
lie.
I would do it. He definitely
Wow.
looks Native American.
So then we found out. I started looking at.
He
because
looks
I
like a
was-
Swedish boat captain. It's like beautiful, flowing blonde hair and skin as white as this light.
So I was like, what the hell? I was told this. And then I found out that a lot of Floridians were told this, and the people in the South, because
a lot of our listeners.
like generations ago, like it was considered to be like brave and rebellious if you had like Cherokee blood or some sort of Native American blood. blood. So like you would want to
So
be
some street cred? Is
Yes,
that-
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
street cred.
It's
Oh
kind of
my
like it was
God.
kind of like the original liking rap as a white guy.
Oh, okay.
But
You
it was like it gave you
Some urban cred.
like in the early 1900s, street cred if you had some Native American blood. So they would say like, oh yeah,
this guy's wild.
my your uncle's Native American, or there's Native American
Yeah.
blood in you, and that would just give like the telephone game be passed on where all like way too many people had the story of Native
It's like,
American.
that's weird. Everyone in this class says they're Native American.
Yeah,
and
it's a
all
lot.
the children.
Including
That's interesting.
My wife was told the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
Which and I haven't even broke it to my wife's family. They still believe it. and it's funny, even if you say like, "Hey, this is a thing,"
Yeah.
people don't believe it. They're
It's
like,
too
no,
ingrained.
they're like, "Mine's real." I'm like, "No,
Well, you took the
None of
DNA
them are real.
test.
None
Wow.
of them are real.
Yeah. Like it's extremely rare to actually have Native American blood from maybe so far like removed that it could be some like fifth cousin removed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
maybe, but it's not in
Yeah.
your bloodline where it's like your great grandfather or something like that. And-
Well, going along with that, we had the ruse was up. Somebody told him like you were not born on Mother's Day. He figured it out.
yeah.
Then we get this message.
Wait,
yes,
why was that a thing though? Why was that?
I don't know. He was told he was born on Mother's Day, and then he figured out that like I guess his parents had lied that he was never born on Mother's Day, and I guess that just kind of hurts his heart.
It was just something he was told in passing, like, "Oh, you were born on Mother's Day," and then he never bothered
Yeah,
to
he just
investigate
believed
it,
it.
and he would tell everybody.
Oh,
It's like,
because his birthday. Well, my birthday's May 12th, so my birthday sometimes falls on Mother's Day. Was his birthday like right around? Is that the point?
think-
And
I think it
then-
was a May birthday. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a May
Well,
birthday.
it has to be.
But then
Yeah.
he went back and tracked like May 15th, whenever his birthday. It was a
Right.
Wednesday, and then his buddy's like, Mother's Day is always on a Sunday, and he's like, oh, so he might.
Maybe she just got confused. All
Yeah,
that.
Possible, but here's where it gets weird.
Epidurals.
We get this voicemail yesterday.
Okay, let's hear.
Tom and Dan. So, I was listening to the show today and couldn't believe the fact that guy called in and said that he was told he was born on Mother's Day. I as well was told I was born on Mother's Day. Whole life. Always told people I was born on Mother's Day. I was right around 40 as well, watching Goodfellas. There's a date that pops up on the screen for a part of the movie. It says Saturday, May 10th, 1980. I sat for a minute and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. And now mind you, I've watched Goodfellas, I don't know, 1,000 times. Never even noticed it until this day. And I'm like, Mother's Day is always on a Sunday, isn't it? So I get up and I go and I ask my wife and she confirms. Sure, it's always on a Sunday. At that moment, I realized I wasn't born on Mother's Day. I'd been telling people my whole life as well.
That's two.
It was just crazy to hear that guy say that and to think there's someone else out there that was told the same lie. Crazy. All right. BDM for life.
What are the odds of that, dude? What are the odds that we
That's
have
insane.
two listeners that listen to the show that are just,
But like, also, why? What is the mother's perspective of this, right? Like,
you're a mom, let's
why?
figure it out. Let's talk it out.
Okay.
Is it coveted?
I
Is
think
it,
I figured
is
it
it
out.
like a little more of the trope of a mother's like you
No, it
were
feels
born
guilt. It
you were
feels
born
like-
on Mother's Day. It's like makes it a little more special. Like like God, it was God bestowing the baby on the day. It was I don't know. I'm trying
Oh,
to.
I see. I go the pessimistic way because
Yeah.
that's me, and
Yeah.
I go, "Oh, she's saying like you ruined my day." Like, not like ruined it, but you know what I mean? Like it
well,
takes
you're a
away.
real mom, so of course you're gonna take it that
Well,
way.
like it's Mother's Day, and then you're born. Because so then so Mother's Day is a complicated day, and mothers don't talk about this enough. But
Yeah.
we just had Mother's Day, and I was talking to my friends, and I voice noted my friend. I was like, I feel like Mother's Day is a friendship day because I just call all my mother friends, and we're all just like, Happy Mother's Day, and we're talking about
Right.
to our other mother friends, and our kids. Even my friend who is a mom, her son went up to her and was like, I don't like Mother's Day. I want it to be a kid day. And we go, yeah,
we
it's
did
your
that.
day
We've
every
done that.
day. Like
That's
you
our
have
fault.
every
we
single
have made
day.
everything kid day, so now of course kids say that.
Yeah, of course. So they're like mad that like mommy starts to get attention. But, on Mother's Day, we want to just disappear and go get a massage or do whatever and, have a nice brunch but that's what I was saying. Like, is it from the perspective of like that? That's where my mind goes.
I don't know.
I like it when you're a mom and it's Mother's Day, but you don't get to enjoy it because you still have a mom, and then you feel the
Yes!
guilt.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's another
When it happens to my
thing.
wife, I'm like, my dad's dead, so Father's Day is mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely.
my parents are both dead. I get everything.
yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
get
no,
it all.
That's the benefit.
Wait, even worse. I had to send my mother flowers, and then I'm like, so it's not really my day. I have to, celebrate my mother. And then my husband expects me to call his mother, and I'm like, no, it's not mother-in-law day. Like, it's not my job to call. She's not my mother.
Normally, I
right?
agree with
No,
men, but that guy got that one wrong.
No, but
yeah, you're
there
not
is
supposed to
this
do
thing.
that.
Oh, she'll be mad if you don't.
No, yeah, like other friends of mine are like, oh, I got to call my mother-in-law. And I'm like, why? She's not your mother. Like, that's what I'm saying. Mother-in-law has gotten so, Mother's Day has gotten so
You don't
muddled.
do it for him at all or anything. Like the relationship I have with my wife is she knows that
She's gonna do everything.
that I don't care. So like I don't even have to sign birthday cards anymore because she just knows that I care so little for anyone in our family that she'll
That's
just
lovely.
It's just honest, Like, do you want me? What do you want?
It should say mom and then very
no,
small
Andrea will be
and
like,
dad
Andrea will
in
just be like, I
parentheses.
signed your name because I know you don't care. And I'm
Oh
like,
no, I'll write cards and then it's just for me, and my husband will be like, why didn't you sign from us? And I'm like, well, because I wrote the card, so I get all the credit.
oh, so you're the me.
I get the credit.
Yeah.
No, but I wrote it all, so like, why would I sign someone else's name?
Yeah, I got you.
I did it all.
Let's jump into another one, buddy. Let's try this one right. Let's actually go with this one because it was, I don't know if you got any emails about this, but we missed this one really.
Tom, Dan, it's called the beaver because the beaver eats a lot of wood.
We were asking why female genitalia traditionally has been known as beaver.
I'll explain, Jess, because I was
Okay.
She
questioning.
knows what a beaver is. She's a mom, for Christ's sake. Moms are tough. They pop things out of their beavers.
I questioned it because I was like, where did beaver come from? And then with ChatGPT said it was because of the beaver's fur. Okay, and then
Yeah, but that
God.
just means ChatGPT is a nerd because that's not true.
I love that. So that's a weird thing you asked ChatGPT.
We did.
What was the exact thing you asked?
I probably typed into ChatGPT,
Yeah, tell
why do we use beaver for female genitalia?
Who uses? Why are you using the word beaver? I have not heard that word in 20
But you
years.
have heard
Yeah,
the
but
word.
but you
I
know,
don't
Not
use it a
about
lot.
that.
I don't use it a lot, but I'm just saying, if it were the
But it's a
70s,
thing.
I would. I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
beaver.
Beaver.
Yeah,
okay.
it was.
Ooh, I don't
yeah.
like that
I'd
word.
be like,
Okay,
hey.
so it
was a
said
metaphor.
it was the fur.
It said it was the fur, and then I was like,
Which is
why?
wrong.
Well, why didn't they call it rat or another more
God.
common? No,
Yeah, like, give me that rat.
But there's lots
Well,
of.
beaver fur is very thick and beautiful.
That's
and
what I
rat
said.
Fur is disgusting.
Hold on, you owe me an apology because that's exactly what I said to him. We're on the same
I'm
wavelength.
so
We're on the
sorry.
same
But
wavelength.
eating wood, and then now that question is answered.
Yeah.
That makes sense to
Totally
me now.
makes sense.
And that's an animal because lots of animals, like mammals, have brown fur. So it's like,
So beavers eat wood.
yeah. So then therefore, that's why.
But then
it's a
I was
beaver.
waiting for you to be like, well, do all beavers eat wood? Because you normally don't.
But now the world's right because the other one was confusing. This makes more sense.
The fur was confusing.
I don't know why ChatGPT didn't say that.
Because it's a nerd. I don't think it knows. Let's try this one right here.
Hello, Tom and Dan. Friday free show, Ross Sauce was in, and he mentioned going to the new Universal theme park and how there was no phones allowed. So he said it was like 1996 and people were more in the moment and engaged. I have found a hack to do that in the modern day. It's called you don't get an unlimited data plan on your phone. That way, when you only have like a gig of data on your phone every month and you share that with your family, you don't really use your phone out in public. You got to get that sweet Wi-Fi main line. And so, if you're riding in the car bored, I better not look at my phone. That might cost me some money. What time of the month is it?
I used to have my this is reminding me of back in the day when I first got a cell phone. That is how I had a cell phone. It was like I had a
Data
cell
plan.
phone. Yeah, I know I'm the oldest here. So I was the guy that had the cell phone, and I loaded it with some minutes, and I'm like, well, I got a cell phone. and I'll call. That's only for emergencies. I got 30 minutes on there, right? You know what I mean? Like, so when you make
I don't
calls,
remember. That was a different time.
like, what do you like? So both of you guys know what it was like to only have unlimited plans.
No,
Maybe.
I didn't have a phone till later, but the data plan.
Remember, we didn't have smartphones first. I had that little Nokia. Remember, we had
flip phone. Yeah.
No, it wasn't even flip. It was this.
Oh,
thing.
it slide down. Yeah,
Slide
I had that.
down.
I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yes, that's the
So
phone
were
I
there
had.
data plans? It was like all you could do was call. You couldn't text.
Yeah.
And you played Snake. Did you guys play
I had
Snake for
Yeah,
hours?
Snake is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best.
That's all
I get
I
some
played.
hella big scores on
But
Snake,
there,
man.
there was the texting with the number pad.
Numeric text.
The numeric text. Where
Yeah,
you,
3 times.
Yeah.
I was good at
yeah.
that. I was pretty good at that.
If only kids knew what
Yeah.
a phone was.
But it was more of a deterrent, right? Like it was more like knowing that now if the only way we could text is alphanumeric, we would be like, it's not worth
Nah,
it.
it's
You know?
Yeah.
So when are you going to get your Miami kids a phone?
Oh, that's a great question to ask a mom. We have a mom in here.
Very late. So there's this book. I will admit I haven't read it, but I know of it. It's called The Anxious Generation.
My wife
Yes.
just finished it
Oh.
last
Okay.
night. She
Yeah.
finished it last
my
night.
wife's reading that, or at least
Don't read that. It's terrifying.
Oh, she's anti-phone.
Yeah, I don't really want to read it. I already know. So I've told my kids that they will not get a phone until they're 16. That's what I've told them. I
Oh,
said, you will
wow.
get
Oh,
a
my
flip
God.
phone. You can have a flip phone to call me.
What am I, a Vietnam vet helicopter pilot? I need a smartphone.
But then they're in Miami. All the other kids are going to
Yeah.
be on their smartphones, and then your kids are the flip
Well,
phone. and
no,
they're-
my school where my kids go to just started a law, not a law, a
Yeah, I know,
rule
yeah,
that
anti-phones. Yeah,
yeah, they do. So
like
you
that.
come to school, you put it in that baggie that I don't know what it does,
Yeah.
and then you can't access it till the end of the day. And yeah, I mean, I can't control what they do with their friends, but with me and at home, they will not have any phone.
I'm so glad the government did that because I want the government to raise my kids so bad.
Yeah, I know.
And now that
And
I'm
I
like,
want the
yes,
government to
thank
give
the
me
government.
money. I want the government to give me money and raise my kids.
That's the best. God. Anyway, sorry. Thanks for sticking around, Jess. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it.
I know.
Thanks for having me.
Every time we look over, like, she's still here? Okay.
I
yeah.
love this
She's hanging
male
out. She's hanging out.
perspective. I love the parenting perspective from yours. It's very fascinating to me.
It's the worst. Imagine if we were it's
A
up to
couple.
us to
Yeah,
be
what if
parents?
we were a couple and had
My
kids?
God, we'd screw our kids up so bad.
We all screw our kids up. That's a fact.
It's
We
just,
try our best.
It's just, I think we win. 'cause
I'm not
we
even
can-
trying my best.
We make it funny.
You're trying your worst.
no,
Giving
no,
your,
no.
like
no, but I could try harder. No, seriously,
I say
though.
that about everything.
Yeah.
Everything I do, I'm like, I could have tried harder.
Yeah. I don't know. I even don't know how to gauge it on
They
a
call
scale.
me 26%, Dan. That's the amount I give.
Like
everything.
I
26%.
need other kids in the future to know how much I'm trying now. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I'm like I think I'm trying hard, but like, if I had some other kids, I'd be like, oh, I didn't even barely try in the
Did
first
you
one.
want to keep going? Do you want to power through?
No,
Okay.
no, we gotta go. All right.
We got to get out of here.
We'll see you tomorrow.